Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book and record episode to do. Today's book is Spectaurs Invasion of Skull Island from 1985. So let's get started.
Children of Earth, I am Mantor, one of a new race, a sectaur from the planet Symbion. Welcome to your sectaur's read-along book. As you read this story, you will understand how important my message is. You are my witness. Children, to you I swear the truth. This story will show you that being too proud can be a fault, and it can make a warrior lose the battle. Every time you hear this sound, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. Now, we are ready to begin the story, Invasion of Skall Island. Don't forget to turn the page every time you hear the sound. Here on Symbion, things are rarely peaceful. They haven't been for centuries. Since the time of the Great Cataclysm, a terrible time of destruction, when our ancestors, the ancients, sealed the story of their race and the secrets of their learning and technology in the biocontrol centers we call hives. Since then, Symbion has been divided into two major kingdoms: the Shining Realm, ruled by King Makor the Mighty, and the Dark Domain, ruled by Empress Devora. At the head of Devora's evil forces is General Spidrax, a cold, ruthless sectaur who secretly lives for the day when he alone will control all of Symbion. Come with me now, as together we relive a dangerous adventure in our planet's history. Mark the tale well and take heed. There is much to learn. Our planets are alike in many ways. What happened to us could happen to you. Listen well, children of Earth. At Grimhold, castle of the Dark Domain, General Spidrax called out to Skeeto, a sly, savage mercenary.
Skeeto, crawl forth and show yourself. And Toxid? Leave that brainless insect elsewhere. Last time he dribbled his poisonous venom all over Empress Devora's carpets. The Empress was furious for weeks.
And rightly so, General Spidrax. Excuse me while I dismiss my telebonded friend.
Skeeto then sent a mental message to Toxid, since sectaur warriors can communicate without words to their telebonded insectoid companions.
Toxid, you revolting genetic accident, take your smelly shell elsewhere. See, General Spidrax, see how well he obeys me. He is loyal, stupid but loyal.
A trait you will never share, Skeeto.
My loyalty will be unquestionable when I tell you the news I bring with me.
Something interesting?
Interesting just begins to describe it, General. It's absolutely astounding and expensive. Worth over 100 stuni at least.
You greedy mercenary. You will be paid when and if I find this information worthy.
Skeeto quickly began his story.
General, just last week, while relaxing from my travels on the shores of the Lake of Blood, I made a remarkable discovery. The supply drums which carried provisions across the lake to the farmers on Skall Island look amazingly like the eggs of the fierce fighter ants we've been breeding in the hills. This is the ideal opportunity to test our new breed in battle for the first time.
Are you suggesting I gain control of all the skall on the island? All that precious skall from which our weapons are made?
Yes, General. We can allow countless hordes of those vicious beasts to hatch on Skall Island. And history will record it as your suggestion, my jewel. It will assure the Empress that you have not lost your touch for great planning.
Just as you, sly one, have not lost yours for worming your way into favor. You are dismissed.
But General,
I said dismissed, Skittle. There is much to do. Tasks that require hard work. You will not be needed, nor will you be paid until this plan is complete.
News travels fast on Symbion, especially General Spydrak's military secrets. A short time later, Dragonflyer, Prince Dargon's telebonded steed, was flying over Skall Island when he spotted something with his colossal blue eyes. Something that made the fur on his neck bristle. He returned immediately to the Shining Realm and landed before Dargon. The warrior prince already understood the telebonded message from Dragonflyer and sensed his steed's alarm.
Whatever Dragonflyer saw at Skall Island must have caused him great concern. I will take a small regiment of troops and go there immediately. I only hope I am not too late.
Dargon boarded Dragonflyer and telebonded to his steed.
Up, Dragonflyer! Take me up!
General Spydrax was pleased with himself. In fact, he had even begun to believe that the plan was his own. His red eyes glowed with satisfaction as he cracked his whip beside Spiderflyer, his insectoid, and telebonded.
Faster, Spiderflyer. You must fly faster.
Then he thought to himself,
Because those spider handshakes resemble supply shipments, they will pass unnoticed when they arrive on Skall Island. And thanks to our careful breeding, we have been able to time their hatching to the exact hour of my invasion. Everyone will panic. Chaos will reign supreme. Then Skall Island will be mine. No one can stop me now, not even Dargon. Soon, the realm of darkness will prevail, and all of Symbion will be mine.
Meanwhile, on Skall Island, a large group of sector farmers stood on the dock and stared at the mountain of newly arrived supplies. The farmers could not know that these supply drums were actually fighter ant eggs about to hatch. One of the farmers commented,
Either our rations have been increased, or more workers are being assigned to the island. I haven't seen this large a shipment in years.
Piled high on the dock, under the blazing suns, were thousands of shiny white eggs. As the sun's heat spread through them, life began to stir inside. Already, the fighter ants' strong legs were starting to scratch at the inside of their shells. It was just a matter of hours before the first one. Then countless thousands of the monsters would crack open their shells and attack. In the air, just offshore, General Spydrax and his troops waited anxiously. Spydrax was pleased with himself as he telebonded to Spiderfly.
Faster, fly faster.
Then he thought to himself,
Our timing will be perfect. The eggs will hatch at the exact moment we land. No one in the Shining Realm suspects what is about to happen, not even Dargon. The rest will be history.
the whirring of Spiderflyer's colossal wings echoed across the island as he circled in.
Wait for just the right moment. Hold that, Spiderflyer.
Spydrax telebonded. Seeing the eggs about to burst open, Spydrax cried to his troops.
Attack! Attack! The eggs are hatching!
Just as the troops were crossing over to the island, thousands of fighter ants were breaking free of their shells. Their semi-soft bodies soon dried to metallic strength in the twin suns, causing the frightened farmers to flee before their oncoming army. Once General Spydrax had landed, he issued orders.
Take your combat posts, troops. Secure all posts and grip the island. We are unstoppable. See how the workers run. What a victory! Empress Deborah will here on the island is fully controlled by the dark domain. The shining realm will soon fall to our superior power, and Dargon will crawl before me, begging for mercy.
Suddenly, a voice rang out behind Spidrax.
Never, Spidrax. I would sooner die than give you that pleasure.
Spidrax spun around and came face to face with Dargon, heroic warrior of the Shining Realm. With his sword held high and his blue eyes shining, Dargon stepped forward and leveled his gaze directly at Spidrax.
So, old foe, we meet again. Still up to your old tricks, I see.
Well, if it isn't Dargon, you have the most unpleasant way of showing up at the wrong time. Just like ants at a picnic. Only this time, I brought my own ants. Look, up in the hills. See how my army of fighters have overrun the island. There's little left for me to do but place my guards. You're outnumbered 1,000 to 1, Dargon. Now, I shall squash you underfoot, as I have so longed to do.
Try it, you brutal butcher. The pleasure of battle will be mine.
Spidrax raised his venom-tipped whip, and Dargon gripped his sword before him. The fight was about to begin. The first crack of Spidrax's whip fell short of its mark. Dargon taunted Spidrax for his error.
Quite a shot, General. With 6 eyes, you should have better aim than that.
With one thrust of his sword, Dargon sliced the whip in two, and the whip oozed and wriggled as it fell to the ground. Spidrax then drew his Bengun pistol, shouting,
You'll feel my fury soon enough, Dargon.
And he released a round of venom-tipped darts. Grabbing his shield of skall, Dargon deflected the darts. Seconds later, all the troops on Skall Island joined in the fighting. The battle soon became one of the fiercest ever seen on the planet. Even though they were outnumbered by Spidrax and the fighter ants, Dargon and his soldiers fought courageously. But the overwhelming odds against them soon began to take their toll. It seemed that the troops of the Shining Realm were doomed to lose the battle for Skall Island. Only a miracle could save them now. But sometimes miracles do happen, even on Symbion. And this one came about because Spidrax was too proud, too confident that he couldn't be beaten. This pride would be his downfall. Spidrax knew that his mysterious fighter ants were strong, but he did not know that they had one weakness. They were allergic to a chemical found in the skall farmed on the island. This chemical put the fierce fighter ants to sleep. So it was that the ants' ferocious eyes grew dreamy and closed. They toppled over on their sides by the thousands. This left Spidrax without the large number of troops he had earlier, and the tide of battle turned in favor of the Shining Realm. Soon, Dargon was able to rout Spidrax's forces. Skall Island was safe once more. Back in the Dark Domain, things were even darker than usual when Spidrax and his defeated troops returned home. Skeeto bounded up through the crowd to General Spidrax, asking eagerly,
How did your great plan work, General?
It was your cheap plan, and you know it, Skeeto.
I think you'll find Empress Devora may feel otherwise, Spidrax. But then what would I know?
And with a bow to the general, Skeeto disappeared back into the crowd, well beyond the range of the general's fury. Alone and about to face Devora's anger, Spidrax muttered,
I should never have listened to Skeeto's plan. I am surrounded by incompetent vermin. Another victory falls to the Shining Realm, and I am humiliated. 1,000 Symbion curses upon Dargon and that weak and powerless territory they call the Shining Realm. But there will be other battles to fight, and next time I, Spidrax, will emerge the victor.
Then, shouting out into the Symbion darkness,
Spydrak swore.
Hear this, Darkon. The fight is not over yet. Not while we live. Sectaurs, warriors of Symbion.
So this was Spectre Invasion of Skall Island from 1985. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. And our next book will be Spectre's Attack of Vendor Peas.